Nietzsche once said that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And there's a lot of truth in that. In fact, it's a very important truth that I wanted to talk about today. The fact that we actually get stronger from the things which we tend to think are the things which actually are attacking us and are difficult for us and challenges that we face. They don't make us weaker, they make us stronger. Nicholas Taleb made a similar point. He had a book which he's called Anti-Fragile. And the idea of anti-fragile is that there are certain things about human beings which actually need adversity in order to strengthen them. And it's not a matter of that we just avoid stress or pressures, but rather we need to engage with stress and pressures in order to become bigger and stronger and better people than we are at the moment. And it seems to me that's a very important truth for life and for any particular challenge which you face at the moment. There's a kind of a movement there's this time where people talk about safe spaces and trying to protect you from difficulty. And that, it seems to me, is the exact opposite of what is needed if you want to grow and be a stronger and a better and a more able person, and one able to reach your potential. You can't hide away from difficulties or challenges. Rather, you need to face them and to embrace them. And it's only that way that you can really make progress in the world. That's moving away from the safe space of the comfortable environment into an area that you're not quite sure about, into a space which is maybe a little bit edgy and disorientating. Maybe it's a challenge to you which you've never faced before. But you don't avoid those kind of challenges. You have to meet them, face them, and overcome them. This is the same principle which is used by psychologists and even therapeutic psychologists, psychiatrists maybe. Those people who help you to overcome a particular problem. If you have a difficulty in maybe facing the world at large, maybe going out of doors, people have those kind of agoraphobic fears. What they get you to do is not to run away from them or hide from them or try to disguise them. The therapeutic solution is to engage with the thing which you find the most frightening, but do it in a safe environment, in a place where you know that you can be, safe. But you challenge it, and the fears are still there, and the fears are still real, but they expose you to those fears little by little and bit by bit. It's called exposure therapy, and it's quite interesting how it works, really. It works on this principle of that which doesn't kill you makes you stronger. The idea that you can slowly but surely meet a challenge which you felt you couldn't ever meet and venture out and do more than you feel you ever could have done before. It seems to me that that really is an important lesson in life. That if you have something which you're afraid of, something which you fear, maybe you don't like public speaking, maybe you have a fear of that, maybe you have a fear of many things in life. There are different fears that we all have in different ways. The way to approach those is to go out and meet those fears and to little by little expose yourself to the risk and to the danger which you fear most of all. When you don't do that, things tend to get bigger and bigger, and you'll meet a much bigger dragon at the end of the road than if you meet a smaller dragon here and now. And what you find, what psychologists find, is that the human psyche is anti-fragile. It grows in proportion to the danger that it faces or the fear that it faces down. And therefore, if you do have a particular concern or worry, if you do have a particular thing which frightens you or concerns you, the only approach is slow but deliberate exposure to that fear, so that you can gain a mastery over it. And you do so not because the fear goes away, not because the fear disappears, but rather that you gain something else from the exposure. And that is courage. Courage to face the problems which surround you, courage to overcome difficulties which you thought you couldn't overcome. And by exposing yourself a little by little to the danger which you fear, you end up being a bigger and a more courageous person and doing the things that you felt you could never, ever do. The worst thing that you can do is to back away and hide from things. The only way through them is to face them bit by bit. Maybe with the help of a friend, maybe with some other support, but face them nevertheless and get through them and understand that this is a challenge to you as a person, challenge to your character, challenge to your personality, and one which you can win, one which you can overcome, one with effort, time. It won't come immediately, but with time and effort, you'll be able to become the master of that particular situation. The fear may still be there, but the courage will also be there to help you overcome the kind of problems that you face. Whatever does not kill you makes you stronger.